Hello people, how are you today? I want to specially welcome you to Dear Rukky, and I am your host, Rukky. Being best of friends with your parents is a dream come true for every child, but how do you go about bearing or withstanding a controlling parent? Well, not to worry, on Dear Rukky we share stories that borders on love, on trust, on betrayals, and even on friendship. And at the end of it all, we use the word of God as the standpoint for everything. So today, we'll be discussing the story of a daughter and a mother. They're actually going through quite some turbulent times now, and the daughter has reached out to us. She wants us to share a story, and she wants us to prefer a solution for her. So as I go for this break right now, I'll come back and I will share the story with you. Stay with me. I'll be right back. You're welcome back from that break. It's still Dear Rukky, and I have a very beautiful guest with me in the studio today. Her name is Miss Precious Akinrogunde. She is an educationist and the visionary of Ladies of It. So, Miss Precious, you're welcome to the show today.
Thank you. Good
It's so nice to see you. You're looking so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. So, how have you been preparing for resumption of school?
We are preparing. We just want to go.
Are you excited to meet your students again?
Yeah.
You've missed them, right?
Yeah, being at home for 4 months is a whole lot of time to me. Now, hearing the news that we're going to be resuming in 2 weeks' time, it's a good one. It's a good news that has come now this time.
But you're prepared for the headache that the students will give to you?
Of course. In fact, the headache is what makes the work interesting.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, right. All right, so what is Ladies of It about?
Okay. Ladies of It is the program that, through the leading of the Holy Spirit, as a matter of fact, we've decided to bring it up. We understand that ladies are going through so much trouble in their lives. They really do not know how to balance their relationship with Christianity. You know, we are in the era where we think that Christian relationship is a whole lot of task for so many people. So in Ladies of It, we try to interfere with ladies with that. We try to interfere with their personal life to tell them how to go about basically Christian relationship. Then we have other things we look into. We look into how ladies can be successful. You know, in this time we think that ladies cannot be successful. Ladies must always be under a man. Under their husband. So we try to make them see why they also could be relevant, you know, in life. And even in their relevance, they will still be submissive to their husband. So these and so many other things are what Ladies of It is all about.
All right, so probably one of these days we'll have to come over to the program. But I think it's a nice initiative, All right, so moving on to today's story. Like I said, I'll be sharing the story of a daughter and a mother. The lady has reached out to us and she wants us to prefer solutions to what is going on between herself and her mom. So today's story goes thus. Dear Rukky, my relationship with my mom is not what I have envisioned it to be. My mom and I seem to disagree on everything. She feels like I am still a young girl of 18 who doesn't know anything, but I know a lot that she's not aware of. I am really envious of my friends who are best friends with their moms and feel free to share anything with them. The few times I have tried to open up to her, she's always criticizing, judging, and trying to control my life. In her eyes, I don't dress properly, walk properly, or even do anything right. I feel she's trying to shape me into the woman she always wished to be. I'm actually tired of trying to live up to her expectations. What do I do? So what does this young lady do? I mean, it's our wish to always be the best for our parents. We always want to please them. We want to make sure that we are the best kids. We want to make sure we come out top in our classes. Wherever we are, we always want to represent our parents and make them proud. You understand? But right now, when it now comes to the issue of controlling, I understand that some parents can be so strict and controlling to the extent that everything that their words do, they always want to be the ones making the decision. So what do you think? Is this lady right to be alarmed? Is she right to say, oh, my mom is always controlling me? She didn't even mention her dad, but our mom is the person in question right now. Do you think she has a legitimate right to be scared that herself and her mom are not in the right terms?
Okay, yes, she has all of the rights. to be alarmed. Yeah, she has all of the right because, like you said, every lady, you know, we share most of our time with our mother better than our fathers.
Yeah.
So every lady, especially every girl child, female child, they want to have a bond with the mother. They want to be able to say everything in their mind to their mother. They want to be friends with their
best
mom,
of friends.
best of friends with their mother. So this person in question, being alarmed by this, I think it's a right thing. She needs to be alarmed, but now, okay, she needs to be alarmed. So now, what is it? What is the parent doing wrong, the mother, and what is the child doing wrong?
Okay.
Like I used to say, I will not fault the mother at all. Because, you know, our mothers, they are so emotional about us that they want us to be the best.
Especially the girl child,
Especially the girl child. You know, in this part of the world, we are like, if the child is doing very well, it's for the father. If the child is doing very bad, it's for the mother. So the mother wants to be so conscious about how she raises her children, inside the female child. So now, you know, our mothers, they train us with their emotions, which is right, but is not 100% right. You know, sometimes they think we don't know anything.
Yeah, like she stated.
Like she stated, they think that, like, okay, I have an example, sorry. Okay. You know, there was a time I was trying to make a particular dish, and my mom was like, you should do it this way. And I have a way I want to do it. But I've looked into the future. I know that I'm going to arrive at what she wants me to arrive at. But she doesn't want me to do it in that side. I was like, Mom, just go and sit down. When the outcome comes, when the outcome is arrived, rather, then if I'm wrong, then you can correct. And if I'm right, then but eventually we all let it and we're happy. It tasted very delicious.
Wow.
So if my mom had not allowed me to do it my way, she wouldn't have known that I have that kind of head knowledge. I have that kind of understanding to do it. So, you know, parents, they want to force us to do things their own way, not their fault. Like I said, we're not going to fault them. So I think the child should search for a way to understand a mother. See, our mothers are not weak.
But how do you call for their attention? I recall when I was growing up. Okay, I'll share this story. While I was reading through this story, when I was at my house, I was just smiling. I remember what I did when I was growing up. I was still very young. Yeah, so I used to be this very playful child. Like, I was so playful. I don't play now, grown up, but I played when I was growing up a lot. So there was this day my mom really spanked me because I did something that was wrong. Yeah, and she spanked me today, and I was so angry. I was boiled. I was really I was upset. And in my mind, I was just saying, I was like, oh, these people. This woman, she's not the one that gave birth to me. She didn't give birth to me at all.
I think at the point, every child had said that.
I was like, she didn't give birth to me at all. How can she just be beating me like this? I was so angry. The next day, I was praying to God, oh God, please send my parents to me. In fact, for the whole week, I was expecting that a stranger would come and collect me back. Like, oh, I want to take my daughter back. But looking at it right now, I saw that my mom was actually doing something right, because what I was doing then was wrong. I was over playful. I wanted to have everything my way. So how does a child see that everything a parent is doing or might be doing is just for your own correction, is to lead you aright? How do we get to that point? Because we are in a world where everyone seems to be correct. I mean, when you go to social media, everyone just wants to have their say. I am the one that's right. I'm the one that... In fact, children now, they don't listen to their parents anymore because they feel like they have more knowledge than their parents. So how do you go about that? How do you let your child, know that what I'm doing is right for you? And if I am not doing it well, if your parent is not doing well to you, how do you communicate that burden to yourself, to them?
Okay, first of all, I will say that the parent should learn to love the child. Yes, we understand that for the fact that they bring us into the world, automatically they're going to love us. But there is a kind of love that a parent should show to the child that will make the child to be convinced that, wow, my parents really love me. See, if we are to ask lots of people, a lot of child Now, a lot of children, like, do you really love your parents? Do you think your parents love you? The answer they're going to give to us will shock us. So our parents need to take us to that level where we understand that truly they love us, and they will also know that we love them too. That is one bedrock thing. Then another thing is, for a parent to always correct the child every time, that means that child hasn't been doing something well. You know, we should get to a level where our parents will have confidence in us. When they tell you do this and you do it wrong, do it and you do it wrong, they will lose their confidence in us. And eventually, you know, over time, when we start doing things right, they will still think we are doing those things wrong.
Okay, so what are the reasons? What do you think are the reasons why parents are controlling?
Okay.
What can we give instances? Can we give, is it because the child is a girl, or is it because of previous mistakes they've made? What are the reasons you think that my parents can be this controlling or that?
Yeah. See, what is happening in the world is enough to make them controlling.
Yeah.
You know, the news you hear, you know, when I was growing up back then, before you know it, this person has been impregnated. Before you know it, that person has been. So the parents are so much shocked. They are so much afraid. You know, they are frightened about the future. They don't want that kind of story to come to their family. So they are overprotective. Now, when we say the parent is controlling, it's not really as if they are controlling. They are just being overprotective. They don't want us to fall into the errors of people in our neighborhood. Because, you know, I say that they believe that their failure is our failure. And they don't want to fail. So they are somewhat overprotective of us. So that is why they act the way they act.
But another reason could be power issues. If a parent, like a father or a mother, also has always felt powerless while they were growing up. Now they are in marriage and they have children. They always want to be the one in control. How do you go about that? You just feel like they always want to just have that say. I had a guardian like that while I was in school, and she was so controlling. Like she was so everything. And I was an undergraduate, for crying out loud. I'm no longer small. Everything I did, to the extent that when I sweep, it's a problem. When I cook, it's a problem. When I wash, anything I do at all is a problem. I felt so frustrated. Sometimes I would just cry my eyes out, and she would still call my parents and badmouth me.
That you're not doing anything right.
So there are still some people, I know it's love, yeah, but there's something that's not wrong with they themselves.
Yes, that's true. How do I say this? She knows that our parents, they still feel we don't have any knowledge of our own, any understanding. They think we are not wise. They think we are not. So they just want to take charge of our lives. They don't want us to live our life. They want us to live our lives for them. So that is why they do all of these things. Now, how do we correct this? Because it's actually an abnormality that has eaten us and eventually will frustrate the child. You know, there was a time, you know, my child and my parents, coming from this religious background, back then when I was in the secondary school, I loved to wear rings naturally. I just, like I'm wearing one now, I just love to wear rings. So I used to buy lots of rings, My mom, she would go and pick them when I'm asleep, throw them away. I won't talk, I won't ask, I know she did it. Tomorrow I will still buy another one. You know, so when it got to a level, she just left me, and I outgrew that. That is another thing. See, our parents should learn to leave us to outgrow some things.
But the Bible says, spare the rod and spoil the child. You know that.
You know, then you see my mom, then she will call me in the middle of the night and she will speak to me. She does not, my mom does not spank me. Can I remember if she ever did that? I cannot remember actually. But there's this thing, she calls us, all of us, at the middle of the night. She will beg us. She will advise us. This is why I'm doing this. You know, even till now, when you tell me to do something without giving me a reason, I won't do it. I think that's where our parents are lacking. That's where they don't have that understanding. They want us to do things for our good, yes. But they want us to do things for our good, but they don't tell us why.
But must they give you a why? Sometimes it might be an intuition. Sometimes you don't know, you have this feeling, you don't know what's wrong, but you just want something to happen, or you want to protect that child. You don't know where it's coming from. Like for instance, now I have a friend that the mom will call her, oh, please don't go out today. Okay, why should I not go out today? I don't know why you should not go out today, but don't go out today. I just feel you shouldn't go out today. And sometimes when she goes out, she finds out that there's something that always happens when she goes, but the mother doesn't always have the reason.
Like she cannot put the words
so it's not
together.
every time that parents will have a reason.
Yeah, it's true. Anyways, all of these things boils down to the fact that we should trust our parents' judgment, and our parents should also know that we have understanding. You know, when these two things, when they are balanced, life will be easier. When the parents come to understand, when the child, you know, we should be able to trust our parents. When my parents, coming to relationship issue, if my parent tells me that, it's like my dad, if he tells me that don't do this relationship, I don't question it. Because, you know, my parents now, they've been able to live their life in such a way that I have gained their trust. They don't need to tell me all the reasons in the world. You know, the parents too, who wants to control the child, or who is already controlling the child, should have lived a kind of life where the child can testify about the trust, can trust that parent.
Can trust
so
the
you know,
decision.
the decision of the parent. You know, parenting is not something that you just burst into and you start controlling your child. You also need to work on yourself. Have I been a good mother? Am I the kind of mother that my child can trust? You know, if you become the kind of mother that your child can trust, you don't need to sweat before the child obeys you. But if you have not been able to build that trust level, if you have been always just spanking, eating, shouting at the child, and the child cannot criticizing and judging, the child will not trust you.
Okay, thank you so much for that. I think it's really been an exciting time in the studio with Precious today. I'll go for a break right now. When I come back, the story still continues. Stay with me. I'll be right back. Yeah, welcome back from that break. It's still Rukky, and I have Precious in the studio with me. It's really been an exciting time, and we've been sharing the story of a young girl and a mother. She says her mother has been controlling her, criticizing, judging, and everything. But you know, something that struck me in this story is that the woman is trying to control how she dresses, how she walks, everything she does. I mean, who does that? So I remembered, when I was growing up, my mom would always tell me that, oh, Rukky, you walk like your dad. And I'm like, really? So I had to watch the way I walk, and I was like, oh yeah, I really don't walk.
You don't walk like girls.
Yes,
you don't walk in the girly manner.
Exactly. And she was like, where did you even learn that from? I had to tell her, I said, it's your fault. When I was growing up, you should have just corrected my walk steps. So that's why sometimes I just prefer wearing high heels, because it makes it controls my steps. Yeah. When I'm not putting on flat, I have to make sure that I'm extra careful the way I walk. Yeah, but there's still some people that will just tell me, Rukky, I love the way you walk. And I'm like, really? I'm also confident, because some people have told me that I don't walk like a lady. I walk like my dad. But it's just all about that. How do you think that a girl child can talk to the mom about the dressing, about the walking, about criticizing and judging? Is there no way that we can, as parents or as children, we can find a balance with each other? When it comes to dressing, it's very peculiar, because the way they were dressing then is different from the way we dress now. You understand? I'm a person that loves to wear some kind of things. My mom would be like, what is all this? This your skirt is too tight, or it's too short, or something. But over time, I've come to realize that, in fact, if something is too tight these days, I'm no longer free. I don't like it. So growing up, I've been able to get my own rhythm now. But not everybody can do that. Some children or some girls, some people would be very rebellious when their parents tries to control them. In fact, the more they grow, the more they are more rebellious. So what can they do? What can they do to sever all these things? Or how can this girl help her relationship with her mother? Are there guidelines? Are there rules? Are there stuff she can make? Now we are trying to prefer solution to this particular story.
Okay, what I can say is that when we talk, people used to say talk is cheap. We can go to our mom, see, you don't understand what is happening now in this dispensation. This is how things are now. This is how we do things now, and all of that. All of these words might not get to the parents. You know, what gets into our parents is the way we conduct ourselves, our lives, is the way we live our lives. Like I said, when I was also in the institution, I love dangling earrings. Oh my God. all of it must just dangle, not just short. It must be very long.
Oh my goodness.
You know, that was me then. My parents had left me, but they kept praying for me. Anyways, we have that side. So they just left me. I was living my life. See, now, I don't wear so much of dangling earrings. It's not as if one Holy Spirit came up on me. I just feel I've outgrown that level. I've outgrown it. And even then, they tried to like, okay, though this girl, she's doing all of these things, but what is deep life? Because is she living our lives very well? Is a life balance?
It's not
is
just
it morally
about the physical
balanced?
appearance.
Is it spiritually balanced and everything? They were able to check that, and they got their answers, which was positive. So eventually they left me, and I agree all of those things. Now, this is what I will say. We can talk to our parents, and also I have so much of examples. You know, there was a time I told my mom that she loves our first child, my sister. She loves her better than
more than
she
yourself.
loves it. You know, I just, you know, when I said that word, it struck my mom, and she had to sit me down and explain so lots of things
to you.
She explained to me, and I got the orientation. So, you know, there are some ways we should live our lives that will convince our parents that we really know what we are doing. Until we get to that level, no matter what we say to them, it will not get to them. It will not stop them. You know, when you are living a balanced life, maybe morally or everything, and you now call your mom, come. See, I know what you want me to become. I know your expectation of me, and I'm not going to disappoint you. But talking about this, I'm not going to dress seductively. I'm going to be decent in my dressing and everything. But when you tell me that I should keep Nigeria clean, like I used to say, it might not work for me, because this is not what is obtainable in this dispensation. So before our parents,
you won't be comfortable.
You won't be comfortable. But the first thing we need to do is to live a life that will convince them that we know what we are doing. So when we get that, they will listen to us. But you cannot imagine a child who is living an opposite life now calling the mother. The words might not, in fact, the mother might not give her attention. So it should be on us, because I used to say that our mothers cannot be wrong. So much you don't have a witch as a mother. So much you don't have a mother with a strange spirit. She can never be wrong. We only need to convince her that we will be what she wants us to be. Then we'll talk you through with her.
Thank you so much for that. It's really been an interesting time in the studio with you. But something I would like to add to everything that we have said, you've mentioned it just now, is communication. When there's a breach or there's a gap in communication, there's always room for different kinds of thoughts. You know, each partner or each party would be thinking like, you know, we'll think lots of things that is not even existing in what is happening. So when, as a child, for the young lady in question in today's story, I want you to be able to communicate with your mom very, very well. Don't be shy. Don't be rebellious. You know, don't be afraid. Some people fear their parents too. They can't even come to them because of the fear they have for them. So you have to build yourself up and try to be open with your mother. Try to make her say, like, I think I buy into what you said about making them say other parts of your life that they've not been saying. Making them say how right you live, how well you're faring in other aspects of your life, and gaining their trust as well. When you're able to gain the trust of your parents, you know, sometimes they will just leave some things for you. That's why we see some young people now, they have lots of responsibilities. Their parents, they travel far to school, and their parents are rest assured that, oh, my child is doing well because I know her. I know how she has been when she was at home. So I know the kind of things that she stands for. I know the values. So for parents, we have to inculcate good values into our children. Integrity, respect, good morals. All these things we cannot do without in the life of children. And for the children, for the daughter to the mother, just find a way to forgive. Because I can sense bitterness now in this story. If you're a Christian, I want to believe you're a Christian, you just have to find a way to forgive your mother and find a way to bridge the gap. Pray and talk to the Holy Spirit to mend the relationship. You never can tell where this would lead to, or you never can tell what the devil is planning. I mean, the devil, the Bible says that the devil is a roaring lion seeking for whom it would devour. It's trying to devour relationship. It's trying to devour anything good at all. So it might be that the devil has been trying to sow some seed of discord in your family. Don't be the avenue. Don't be the point, the entrance point that the devil will use to come into your family or come into the relationship with yourself and your mother. And always show a way, find a way to appreciate your mom, find a way to cherish her, find a way to tell her I love you. Not every child, not every daughter tells their parents I love you. I mean, we just take these things for granted. So just forgive and find a way to, and don't be envious of your friends. What your friends have with their parents or with their mothers, you can actually achieve that with your mom as well. So it's really been an interesting time in the studio. Do you have any last words for us before we round up today's story?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay.
I will still want to buttress on that point that you should live, or we should all live, because this is concerning everyone. We should all be able to live a life in which our parents will be able to trust us. You know, when the trust is there, everything becomes very easy. But when the trust is not there, even when we keep communicating from now till forever, it might not work. Yeah. So our parents need to be able to vouch for us that this is what my child can do part-time. This is what my child cannot do. In fact, let anybody come and tell me, no, she won't do that. So we should be able to live that kind of life where we can buy our parents' trust and every other thing will fall in place for us. So this is what I have to say.
Thank you so much. And lastly, the Bible says that honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long. And then to parents, that we should not what's the word now? We should not push our children to do something bad. We should not encourage them to do something evil. We should not be the stumbling block in their way. So for the daughter, forgive, honor your parents, and for the parent, try to be understanding. Try very, very, very much to be an understanding, and from time to time, give some level of trust to your children. You can try them out. You can test them with some things. You know, you can just do something. You can ask them questions. You can ask for their opinions and things. This will make them feel belong in the family. This will help your relationship with them. Our wish for today, all children, I want to believe, wish for today is to become best of friends with their parents. I mean, I can't imagine not being best of friends with my mom, and my mom and myself, we are so far apart. I don't even know how it would be like.
So many mistakes will be in the child's life.
Exactly. So we really want to be best friends with you as parents. So try as much as possible to be best friends with us. Our African setting sometimes doesn't allow for such relationships. Sometimes we feel like some parents feel like, oh, if I'm too friendly with my child, there will be no longer respect. They will no longer respect me. But that should not be the case. Try to be open, try to be understanding, and show much more love to your children. Thank you so much for watching today's episode of Dear Rukky. If you have a comment to leave for us, if you're going through something like this, or if you've gone through something like this, share with us your story, what you think about today's story. What should the lady do, or what should her mother do? What are they doing wrong, and how can they go about it? How can she mend the relationship with her mother to be the perfect relationship ever on earth? Thank you so much. And also, I want to implore you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and to follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. In fact, all over social media. Just follow us. We really like to hear from you, and leave us a comment. Also, we'd like to let you tell us where you're watching us from. If you're watching us from Nigeria or any part of the world, we really would like to be part of everything that you are doing as well. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. Till I see you again. Bye for now.